What up? It's your boy T-Man Reaction, Days Music Monday, for continuing with the DJ Magazine's site of dance, making of dance classes and all that too. I like do back to back one with the behind the producers who make some of your favorite dance track. Now they're trying to get behind the singers who provide the beautiful vocals to some of your dance track. This next one right here is none other than Ultra Naté, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, for her house music classic Free. And definitely one of the best one of the popular ones you see on these like that's what called music dance track, the MTV jam. What was the MTV CDs they used to do? They had the not jock jams. The jock jams did play some stuff. MTV dance CDs, dance music CDs. I just remember those CDs. I just remember. See, I remember them. American commercials for the play. Yeah, MTV Club Party to Go and MTV but Party to Go. That's what it's called. Yep, and Grind. Yup. Yup, and you see commercial, and this be one of them, the Rude Why I saw some of the ones I previously the reaction with some of them as well too. So anyway, this was definitely one of them as well too. At the time she had short blonde hair when she did the video. So yeah. Other than that, let's see this the story behind the musical vocals of Alternate T first single Free. Let's get it.
Everyone wanted to get their hands on it. People running me down in the street, DJs attacking me in the street, like, where's that record? I need a promo. I need a promo. Hi, everybody. I'm Ultra Naté, and this is the story of Free. I was really just a kid that just graduated from high school. I had started at university. I was going into medicine. I had this whole plan for my life. Somewhere along that way, I discovered a club called Odell's, which was our version of Paradise Garage, and basically where the underground house music community all came together. In that space, I kind of found my tribe and found this whole new love for dance music culture. But once I started hanging out at Odell's, I got to know Tommy Davis of Basement Boys, and we became really good friends. So Tommy was the one who actually enlisted me to come hang out, meet the guys, come and work with us. I had never sang before, I had never written songs before,
not too far from,
but they were just throwing out
she's
the
not too
field to
far
like
from,
anyone.
she's not too far, she's from not too far where I'm at right now. She's from Heavy Grace. Wow.
One that was interested to come to the studio and hang out and maybe see what the vibes created. When I went to work with them, I met Jay and Teddy, and we all just hit it off because we were all lovers of house music. So it was like a family environment out the gate. And we started writing what ended up being my first song called It's Over Now at the kitchen table in the basement. And I wrote about what I felt at that moment, which was my first real heartbreak moment from my first real relationship. So it's over now.
No more me and you.
Oh, okay.
I think we're through. It's over. It's over now.
Fast forward, they gave that to Tony Humphries in Jersey. He built it at Zanzibar, which was like the place to be. I was in the right place at the right moment. That's how I ended up with my deal in the UK. But I had no idea at the time. I was kind of like, you want to do what? Like, you want to sign me to... I've never done this before. And that song was the first time I had ever even heard my voice. So the whole time I was making that first record, I was just like, what is happening? And watching people in the club reacting to it and just stunned the whole time. By the time I was dropped from Warner in '94, I had to come to the crossroads, and myself and my manager, Bill, we kind of had a come to Jesus moment to decide if I was going to continue in the music business or if I was going to now go back into my studies for medicine. I decided to continue, and Mood to Swing, they were the seminal underground New York sound, and everyone knew them and everyone loved them. They had a lot of classic records. They weren't classics then, they were like the records of the moment at that time, but everyone knew them in that space. And everyone loved them. And Strictly also had the brand recognition. They had their ear to the streets. They had the finger
Oh,
on the
yes, that
button.
label.
They were in tune with all of the DJs. They knew how to make records happen. So it
Those
was
like
really Gladys
that I
Pizarro
think
during that period between 94 and 96.
I think that little Sugar Rhythm was like the label that a lot of the records, including like I think Marshall Jefferson records on the label. I could be wrong, but yeah,
That
that
kept coming back to us. Like, I really want to do a deal with you guys. I really want to sign you. Really want to do a 12-inch deal. Whatever you come up with, like, let's just do something.
Make that change, let something say. Get out of bed, get on your way. Don't be scared, So if you want it, reach for it.
I decided to do the rock thing and the lilting guitar thing really because it wasn't the thing in house. That's generally like how I think, is to go against the grain. Especially at that time when I felt like I had absolutely nothing to lose. So you're either going to fly or you're going to sink, and you've got to be willing to take that risk. And that was my headspace at the time. The inspirations for approaching Free were from REM, Losing My Religion, and from a lot of Sheryl Crow, a lot of heavy guitar kind of stuff. So utilizing Mood to Swing as a production team was Bill's idea. And I was already a Mood to Swing fan, so that was like, yep, let's do it. And in those first conversations, they were completely on board with approaching this new work as a rock song. And we all went in 110% from the rock tip, like from the bottom to the top, from drums on up. It was all rock. We didn't decide until after Free was done to then put the Mood to Swing signature groove in there. That's what made it work in both worlds. But it needed to be something that was going to be a statement that you either loved it or you hated it. Like, that's what the industry needed to feel at that moment. Now, what does the song say? And Lem was the one who was like, I don't know, it just needs to be like, you're just like screaming, free. Now, how that was going to translate and be sung, so now I actually wrote Free twice. And then we spliced this first half of the first verse from the first go round with the second half of the first verse from the second pass, and kind of put those together. And then that made a complete first verse that everybody now knows and loves. Even the little nuances of the Do What You Want's, like that was Danny Madden once the background girls came in, and he put the ladies in there to like bring all of that color and flavor of this heavy background story. Then he's like, we need that behind Free, do what you want to do, and just bouncing it off the groove. So there were all these moments in that process where everybody was putting in all of these components, and that's the truly great collaborative process that gets lost a little bit now in creating records, but that's how you build a great record.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie, 90s house music or dance classics are always beautiful to hear, especially with the ones with the vocals back in there and the pianos, man. The keys, man, always for real, man.
We felt like we made something that was a standalone, but we had no idea if anyone would like it besides us in the studio, really. And that was the gamble. I mean, I was really chewing my nails when we came out the studio. Because then it's like, okay, now the rubber hits the road. Like, what is the world going to think of this? Because everyone could have been like, when that first guitar came in, what is happening here? We don't get it. Like, where's the 4/4? The first time I heard it in the club was Winter Music Conference that year in '97. As soon as we got to the beach, there was already energy around it. Strictly had sent out their test pressings, and I think it was a red vinyl at that time, which was very special. People running me down in the street, DJs attacking me in the street, like, where's that record? I need a promo, I need a promo. Hearing it in liquid is the biggest standout memory for me, because Louis really smashed it out the park that night at Liquid, and everyone was there, and he played it probably 3 times that night, and it was hands in the air every time, and people were singing it lyric for lyric like it had been out for months already.
I know the man. I sometimes always And I know the club scenes in the 90s was the thing, and I know stuff like this, whoo, had the clubs jumping for these type of music.
So the video was actually directed and produced by Worlds of Wonder. It was their concept of it being more irony than your standard dance music video where everybody's in the club, hands in the air, you know, the DJ and the singer. And it was the sterile lack of freedom in the video. The song speaks to breaking free of that and fighting against that and fighting against those norms. So all of those references are more metaphorical than anything. You know, some people loved it, some people hated it, but at least they talked about it.
Are we all strangers? Does anyone really care?
Free resonated with the LGBTQ plus community because they've always been very supportive of
Oh yeah.
Black female vocalists.
Funny thing
They've always
about
been a supporter of my
pause.
career
Oh, because I forgot I ain't this one.
from the beginning.
I've got this with keyboard don't work because I gotta get a new dongle. Anyway, I funny how she said that 'cause it was a post real saw on Facebook about how it's talking about hip hop separate wow how things separate from hip hop in a way because that time because hip hop, for a while hip hop music was almost every single album in the late 80s, early 90s had like a house joint on there, and then with gangster rap rise and hip hop became homophobic, and they were referring house music as the LGBTQ music. Let's say please don't hear it though. So and it said that's how it got separated. So it's interesting me hearing that. I wanted to see if I can find that full video on YouTube to react to it and go along with it. But yes.
Beginning, really, before I even got a record deal, it was my Black Queens in Baltimore that prepared me for being able to make that transition from club kid to suddenly being on stage. Also, in the messaging of the song, it's a fight song, it's a song of empowerment, it's a song of love, it's a song of breaking through boundaries, and many different things can be applied in so many different ways. And so for many marginalized communities, the song is anthemic and tells their story. And I think they felt seen and they felt heard, and it just automatically became the story of prides around the world for many, many years and still counting.
Hmm.
Well, the lockdown was so dramatic for
Oh
everyone. It was
yeah.
very
I
traumatizing
loved
for
it.
all of
Yep.
us. We were all in a collective state of shock and sadness and mourning and loss, that a song like Free would naturally be something people would attach themselves to again in a new way, because they needed that anchor. They needed that thing that gave them some kind of light, some kind of hope. And it spoke to people in such a way that made them feel no longer isolated from each other. When things opened back up, Free was the song that people screamed in each other's faces in the club, like, oh my God, I can't believe we're once again,
Right.
enjoying each other's energy. Obviously, we always want as many people as possible to hear our music because that's why we're doing it. I don't do this as a hobby. I do this for the love, but it's also an industry and it's also my business. And I also do it because it's art, and that art feeds people, and that art is
Nice.
important, and it shapes culture. So I feel like I'm living in my purpose. I've had people that I've never met before come up to me and say, your song so-and-so saved my life. And it spoke to me. It made me feel valuable. It made me feel seen. It made me feel loved. It made me feel like there's another opportunity, there's another chance. That's where the value is. We all want the club charts. We all want to sell a lot of records or get a lot of streams or whatever that is supposed to be these days. But at the end of the day, for me, what's most important is when it's all said and done, the body of work that I've left behind and that I can stand on, and it will stand the test of time. And people will hear those songs into perpetuity and say, that's a great song right there.
Yeah. Another good story right there as well to see, especially how she started and then how she she put another genre within the genre. It's pretty cool right there. Other than that though, shout out to Ultra Naté on this one. It's a good one. Some other ones I'm gonna check out down the line as well too. But other than that, if there's someone that you see on the DJ Mag timeline that you want me to check out, let me know. Anyways, your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.